He gave his escape pod seat to an alien girl. 8 years later, she returned for him. Alex Carter ran through the dark corridors of the cargo ship. Sparks flew from broken wires above, and the air smelled of burning metal. Alarms blared, and the whole ship shook violently. The cargo bay behind him was collapsing, and he knew that if he did not reach the escape pod soon, he would die. He had been on the ship for only a few months, working as a junior engineer. It was supposed to be a simple supply run to the outer colonies. No one expected pirates or the sudden solar storm that had torn through the system. Now, the ship was breaking apart, and every step felt like a gamble. As Alex turned a corner, he saw movement near one of the storage crates. At first, he thought it was just another crew member trying to escape. Then he saw her. She was a small figure, hunched and trembling. Her skin glowed faintly in the dark, a pale blue light that made her seem fragile and otherworldly. Her eyes were wide with fear, and she looked very young, not more than 12 by human standards. Alex froze for a moment. He had never seen an alien up close. This species was rare, and he knew the stories. Some humans called them dangerous, others said they were too weak to survive in human space. But she looked harmless, scared, injured. She tried to speak, but only soft sounds came out. Alex could not understand her language, but he understood the meaning in her eyes. She needed help. He ran to her and extended a hand. She hesitated, then took it, letting him help her to her feet. Her body was fragile, and she leaned heavily on him. He noticed bruises and burns along her arms. She had been through something terrible. "We need to get to the escape pods," Alex said, keeping his voice calm even though he was panicked. She nodded faintly. She could not speak his language, but she understood his gestures. They moved quickly. The corridors were crowded with debris, and sections of the ceiling had collapsed. Alex had to duck and jump over burning wires. Every few seconds, sparks rained down, and he felt heat on his neck and shoulders. He kept glancing back to make sure she was still with him. She was silent, but she followed him without hesitation. As they ran, Alex remembered the emergency protocols. There were only a few escape pods left. The ship's log had indicated that most pods had already been launched or destroyed. He cursed under his breath. How many could survive if they did not get to one in time? Finally, they reached the escape pod chamber. The room was small and crowded with smoke. The flashing lights showed only one pod still intact. Alex's heart sank. One pod, one seat. He looked at the alien girl, then at the pod. She could not survive the fire and the vacuum of space alone. If he did not act, both of them would die. He knelt beside her. She looked up, her glowing eyes wide and scared. She raised her small hands toward him as if asking for protection. Alex's heart ached. He could feel the warmth of life in her small body, and he knew what he had to do. "You go," he said softly. "I'll stay." She tilted her head, confused. She did not understand his words, but she understood the meaning. He motioned toward the pod, then to himself. He made the motion of staying, of giving up. Her eyes filled with fear, but she nodded. Somehow, she knew this was her only chance. Alex helped her into the pod. She tried to speak again, but no words came out. He pressed the launch button for the pod and held it down. Alarms sounded. The chamber shook violently. The pod doors sealed and the countdown began. "Go," Alex whispered. The pod lifted off. He watched through the small viewport as it moved away from the ship. For a moment he felt relief. She was safe, alive. Then the ship shook harder. A section of the ceiling above him collapsed, and he had to dive to avoid the falling metal. He ran toward a reinforced maintenance hatch, hoping it would protect him from the explosions. The fire raged around him, but he managed to close the heavy door behind him. Inside the hatch, he caught his breath. He felt pain in his legs and arms from burns and bruises. Smoke filled the small space, but he knew he could not stay here long. He had to move. The ship was breaking apart, and every second counted. He crawled through the narrow tunnels, feeling the vibrations of the explosions above him. The ship groaned as metal twisted and broke. He passed by storage rooms that had exploded. Crates of food and supplies were scattered everywhere. Some were on fire. He had to avoid them carefully. Hours, or maybe minutes, he could not tell, passed as he searched for another safe area. He finally reached a sealed section of the ship, an old cargo hold designed for dangerous materials. The walls were thick and the doors were reinforced. It was not ideal, but it could hold him until rescue arrived. Alex collapsed against the wall. His body ached and his lungs burned from the smoke. He thought of the alien girl, the small figure he had saved. Would she survive? Would someone rescue her? His heart ached at the thought that he might never see her again. Outside the hatch, the ship exploded in a series of bright flashes. Alex could feel the vibrations through the floor. He pressed his hands to his face, unable to look directly at the destruction. He thought he might be the only one left. After a while, he heard the faint sound of approaching ships, human patrol ships. The emergency signal had reached them. Soon, he would be rescued, but he knew he had given up his own chance at an easy escape to save someone else. He sat alone in the reinforced hatch and thought about the choices he had made. He did not regret giving up the pod. Something deep inside told him he had done the right thing. He had chosen compassion over survival. Meanwhile, far across the stars, the pod carrying the alien girl moved safely away from the wreckage. She was unconscious but alive. Sensors on the pod monitored her condition, keeping her stable. Unknown to Alex, alien observers were watching the pod from a distance. They noted the human who had given up his life to save her. They made calculations and recorded his action. Alex did not know it yet, but his choice had changed more than just his fate. It had been observed by beings far more powerful than he could imagine. A debt had been created, a debt that would not be forgotten. He waited alone in the hatch as the night passed in artificial darkness. The fire and destruction outside had burned out. The silence was heavy. He thought of his family back on Earth, the life he had left behind and the people he might never meet again. Yet in his heart he felt a quiet satisfaction. He had done what no one else would. He had saved her. The rescue team finally arrived hours later. They broke open the reinforced hatch and pulled him out. He was weak, injured, and barely able to stand, but he was alive. He was taken to a medical ship and treated for burns and smoke inhalation. He asked about survivors, about the other escape pods. The crew shook their heads. All others had been destroyed. He did not speak about the alien girl, fearing no one would believe him, or worse, that they might send a military ship to find her. He kept the secret locked in his heart. As he recovered, Alex began to think about the vast galaxy beyond human space. He wondered if the girl he had saved would survive. Would she remember him? Would she even know who had helped her? He could only hope. He did not know it yet, but this single act, giving up his own escape to save an alien child, would echo across the galaxy. It would change perceptions of humans among alien species. It would create a legend of compassion, courage, and sacrifice. For now, Alex Carter was just a young human, lying in a small medical bed on a human patrol ship, bruised and tired. But the seeds of a story that would cross stars and years had already been planted. A story that would one day return to him in ways he could never imagine. And somewhere far away, in the safety of a small escape pod, the alien girl he had saved began to wake. Her eyes opened slowly. She looked at the stars through the pod viewport. She did not know who had helped her, but she would never forget the human who gave her life. The galaxy was quiet for now, but soon, 8 years later, everything would change. Alex Carter woke up slowly on a medical bed. The bright lights hurt his eyes and the steady hum of the patrol ship filled the room. He felt weak. His body ached from burns and bruises, and every movement reminded him of how close he had come to death. He tried to remember everything. The fire, the explosions, the alien girl, the escape pod. The memory of her frightened eyes made his heart tighten. He asked the medic who tended him about survivors, about the other escape pods. The medic shook her head. All others were destroyed. No one had seen an alien child. Alex did not speak about the girl. He knew no one would believe him. Human space rarely had visitors from that far corner of the galaxy, and most officers would call him crazy if he told the truth. He kept the memory locked in his mind, a secret no one else could touch. He spent weeks recovering on the patrol ship. The crew treated him kindly, but Alex avoided conversation. He wanted nothing but to rest and heal. Yet even in sleep he saw her face, small, glowing blue eyes staring at him with trust. He had saved her. That was his choice, and it would stay with him forever. Once he was able, Alex returned to human colonies. He no longer wanted the excitement of deep space missions. He took a job on a remote frontier station, repairing ships and machinery. The pay was small, but life was quiet. He liked it that way. The galaxy felt less dangerous when he could fix engines instead of running from fire and pirates. The years passed slowly. Alex grew stronger in body, but his mind often wandered to the alien girl. He wondered if she had survived, if anyone had found her. Most of the time, he tried not to think too deeply. Hope and doubt fought inside him. He told himself that she was safe, even though he could not know. Far across the stars, the alien girl had indeed survived. Her pod had been monitored by her species, powerful observers who respected life and honor. When she awoke, she was scared and weak. She could not speak human words, but she learned quickly. Her species was intelligent, and they trained her to heal, to fight, and to survive. Her name was Lyra. She did not remember her family. She remembered only one thing, the human who had given up his life so that she could live. His face, his hands, his courage. It stayed in her mind, growing clearer as she grew older. She never forgot him. Over the years, Lyra grew strong. She learned human languages and the ways of humans in the outer colonies, even though she rarely met them. Her people were powerful, respected across many systems. Yet she chose to remember one small act of kindness, a human saving her life. It became a story she told herself every night, a story that shaped who she was. Back on the frontier station, Alex lived a quiet life. He fixed engines, repaired broken robots, and occasionally helped traders with minor repairs. No one knew his past. He did not want anyone to. He liked being unnoticed. Yet sometimes he would catch a glimpse of something in the sky, a ship moving faster than it should, lights flashing, and his heart would race. He thought for a brief second that maybe, just maybe, it was her. The galaxy itself seemed calm during those years. Humans explored slowly, colonizing small systems, trading with nearby alien species. They faced threats, but nothing that could match the chaos Alex had survived. Still, he knew the galaxy was unpredictable. He had learned that lesson the hard way. One day, while repairing a trader ship, Alex overheard a conversation between crew members. "Did you hear about the alien patrol near the border system?" one said. "They are observing human activity again." Something unusual happened years ago. Alex stiffened. He pretended not to listen, but his heart thumped loudly. Unusual activity. Years ago. Could it have something to do with the girl? He tried to calm himself. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe his imagination was running wild. Yet a part of him could not ignore it. Weeks later, strange ships began to appear near the frontier station. They were unlike any human or known alien design. Sleek, glowing lightly, with symbols that seemed unfamiliar. The station went into alert. Alex felt a mix of fear and curiosity. He had survived pirates, storms, and explosions. Could he survive this? Then, one evening, as the station's main doors opened, he saw her. A small figure stepped out of the alien ship. Her body was taller now, stronger, confident. Her eyes glowed faintly blue. Alex froze. It was her, Lyra. The same small girl he had saved 8 years ago, now grown and powerful. She looked directly at him, not at anyone else, not at the station crew. Only him. Alex's heart raced. He could hardly believe it. "It can't be," he whispered, though no one could hear. Lyra approached, moving gracefully. She did not speak, but Alex could feel her presence. She raised her hand slightly, a gesture of recognition. Alex stepped forward slowly, unsure of what to do. 8 years had passed, but the memory of the escape pod, of her small, frightened face, came back as if it had happened yesterday. The station was silent. Humans and aliens alike watched in awe. No one moved. This alien girl, now grown, was not just a visitor. She was a powerful being who seemed to command respect. Yet she did not threaten anyone. She waited. She wanted Alex. Alex could not speak. He wanted to ask her 1,000 questions, but no words came out. He remembered the escape pod, the choice he had made, and the fire that raged around them. He remembered the feeling of letting her go. Now here she was, standing alive because of him. Finally she spoke. Her words were human, clear, perfect. "Alex Carter," she said softly. "I am looking for you." Alex's knees shook. His heart raced faster than it had in years. He took a deep breath and stepped forward. I am Alex," he said. His voice was quiet but steady. He did not know what to expect. Would she attack? Would she demand something impossible? He did not know. Lyra's eyes glowed brighter for a moment. She nodded slightly. She did not kneel, but there was respect in her stance. She had returned to honor a debt, a promise she could not forget. Alex realized then that his choice 8 years ago had created a bond far stronger than he had imagined. The crew of the station murmured. Some were frightened, some amazed. They had never seen an alien act with such purpose. Lyra did not care about them. She only wanted the human who had saved her. Alex reached out slowly. She did not flinch. He could see the faint scars and markings of her species training, the evidence of years of survival. She had grown stronger because of what he had done. You survived," Alex said. His voice caught in his throat. I thought you might." "I survived because of you," Lyra said. Her voice was calm but filled with emotion. "You gave your life for me, you trusted me, you saved me. I could not forget." Alex swallowed. The memory of the escape pod, the fire, the explosions, all came back. He had given up everything, and somehow she had survived. Alive, stronger, not just a child, but a force in her own right. Lyra looked around at the humans on the station. She raised her hand slightly, signaling them to stay calm. She did not want conflict. Her mission was simple: find Alex Carter, honor the debt, and leave. Alex stepped closer. Why did you come back?" he asked softly. "Because humans do what others cannot," she said. "They make choices, they show courage. You showed that, Alex. I had to see you. I had to repay a debt I cannot forget." The station fell silent. Even seasoned traders and soldiers were struck by her words. Humans who were often seen as weak, selfish, or reckless had earned respect from a being from a distant, powerful species. Alex realized then that the galaxy was bigger, stranger, and more connected than he had ever imagined. Alex and Lyra stood facing each other. The past 8 years of separation, struggle, and survival had led to this moment. He had lived quietly, believing he was alone in his choice. She had survived, grown, and returned. The universe, in a way, had brought them back together. For Alex, the quiet life on the frontier station was about to change forever. The alien girl he had saved had returned, and with her, the galaxy itself seemed to have noticed the simple courage of a human who chose compassion over survival. And far across the stars, other beings, watching from the shadows, recorded the return. The bond between Alex and Lyra was more than just human and alien. It was a story of life, choice, and honor. A story that would grow, spreading farther than either of them could imagine. Alex felt a mixture of fear, joy, and disbelief. He had survived many dangers, but nothing like this. Yet in his heart, he knew one thing. He would follow her words, and together, they might change how humans were seen in the galaxy forever. The galaxy was quiet for now, but the story had begun. And Alex Carter, the human who gave up his life for a stranger, was about to face the consequences and rewards of that choice. Alex Carter stood on the frontier station, his heart still racing. Lyra's presence was unlike anything he had ever felt. She was calm, confident, and glowing with authority. Every movement she made seemed deliberate, controlled. Yet there was no threat in her eyes. She had returned for him and nothing else mattered. The station crew whispered among themselves. Some were afraid, others curious. They had never seen an alien move with such purpose. Lyra did not care about their murmurs. She had a single mission: find the human who had saved her life. Alex stepped closer. I still don't understand, he said softly. Why did you come back? Why now? Lyra looked at him, her glowing eyes steady. Humans are stronger than many believe, she said. Your choice 8 years ago changed how my people see your species. You saved me when no one else would. That act has consequences. It matters to my people. It matters to me. Alex swallowed. Your people, who are they? He asked cautiously. He had heard stories of powerful alien alliances, but he had never met one. He did not know what to expect. We are called the Aurelians, Lyra explained. We are observers and leaders in the Galactic Alliance. We watch, we judge, and sometimes we intervene. Humans have long been unpredictable to us. Many of my kind believed you were selfish, reckless, untrustworthy. Your act showed another side. Alex nodded slowly. He did not fully understand, but he felt the weight of her words. One small choice had changed how an entire powerful species viewed humans. He had never thought his actions could reach that far. Lyra stepped closer. Your people are strong in ways others do not understand. You choose to protect others even when it is dangerous. You make decisions that show courage, honor, and compassion. These are rare qualities. They are important. Alex felt a mixture of pride and disbelief. He had survived storms, pirates, and explosions, but nothing compared to the weight of her words. Humans were finally being seen for what they could be, not what others assumed them to be. Lyra paused and looked around the station. The human crew watched in silence. She raised her hands and the glow around her grew brighter. I came back to repay a debt, she said. Not with gold, not with weapons, but with recognition. Your act matters to my people. It changes how humans will be treated in the galaxy. Alex took a deep breath. Repay a debt, how? He asked. He could not imagine what she meant. Did her people expect something from him? Would he be forced to leave human space? My people have laws, Lyra explained. When a life is saved, that debt must be honored. You saved me. My people respect that choice. They will now see humans as worthy, not as weak creatures to be ignored or conquered. They will listen to you. They will protect you. They will watch over your people. Alex blinked. He had expected maybe gratitude, maybe a simple thank you. But this was beyond anything he could have imagined. Humans, who were often underestimated by other species, were now respected because of a single act of compassion. Lyra looked at him closely. I will not ask for your loyalty, Alex. I will not ask you to leave your home. I only ask that you continue to be who you are. Protect your people, make choices that matter, and show courage. Humans will be seen differently because of you. Alex felt his chest tighten. He had lived quietly, fixing engines and avoiding danger. Now he realized that quiet life might change forever. Yet he also felt a strange sense of pride. One small act, one moment of courage, had ripple effects across the galaxy. Lyra stepped back slightly and gestured toward the sky. Other humans will be watched more closely. Your species will be respected. Trade, alliances, and communication will open. But remember, humans are unpredictable. Your actions will continue to shape how others see you. Alex nodded. I understand, he said slowly. I never imagined one choice could do all that. I only did what felt right. And that is why humans are important, Lyra said. Her eyes glowed softly. The galaxy often judges strength by weapons or technology. but humans show strength in the heart. That is something few species understand. Now, my people will understand it because of you." The station crew watched silently. Some were in awe, others whispered excitedly. Humans had always wondered if they mattered to the larger galaxy. Now, for the first time, one of their own had proven that a human could be seen as strong, respected, and honorable by a species far beyond their technology or numbers. Alex felt a strange sense of calm. The fear, the doubt, the worry of the past years seemed lighter now. He had survived disasters, lost years of quiet life, and faced unknown dangers. Yet here he was, standing with the alien girl he had saved, knowing that his choice had lasting meaning. Lyra stepped closer again. "Humans will need guidance," she said. "We will not interfere directly, but we will watch. We will support. Your life, Alex, is proof that humans are capable of more than we imagined. Your people will have a chance to show themselves, just as you did." Alex nodded again. He wanted to ask questions, but Lyra's calm presence told him to listen first. She had seen much more than he had. She understood the galaxy in ways he could only guess. Will my life be in danger now?" Alex asked. "Other species, will they try to use me?" Lyra shook her head. "You are safe. My people will protect you. No one will harm you while I am here. The galaxy is watching, and your actions are respected. You may live your life as before, but humans will have allies where before they had none." Alex's heart relaxed slightly. He had survived storms, pirates, explosions, and now the galaxy itself. And still, he was alive. His courage, his choice, had not only saved a life but had earned respect for all humans. Lyra looked toward the horizon. "There is much to learn, Alex. Your people will be stronger, wiser, and more respected. But this is only the beginning. One act of courage can change the universe. You have shown that humans can do what others cannot. Now, the galaxy will notice." Alex felt the weight of her words. He had never thought a single human could matter in such a way. Yet here he was, proof that humanity's strength was not in weapons or numbers but in the heart. One choice, made in the chaos of fire and destruction, had echoed across the stars. Lyra's glow dimmed slightly and she stepped closer to Alex. "I do not expect rewards, Alex. I do not expect gratitude. I only expect you to live as you have lived before, to continue making choices that matter. Humans will remember. Aliens will remember. The galaxy will remember." Alex nodded, feeling a strange pride he had never felt before. He had survived, yes, but more than that, he had changed how humans were seen. One small act of compassion, one decision to give up his escape pod, had done more than he could ever imagine. The station crew slowly returned to their duties, whispering among themselves. They had seen something extraordinary, a bond between a human and an alien, a story of courage, and a glimpse of the galaxy changing before their eyes. Alex looked at Lyra. "Thank you," he said softly. "For remembering, for coming back. I don't know what to say." "You don't need to say anything," Lyra said. "You acted, that is enough. Humans will be remembered because of you. Now it is time to move forward. The galaxy has lessons to learn, and humans will show it what they are capable of." Alex felt a mixture of awe and fear. The galaxy was no longer distant and indifferent. It was alive, watching, and ready to respect those who showed courage. And he had proven that humans were not weak. They could choose, act, and shape the future. Lyra turned, signaling her ship. "Come with me, Alex, just for a time. See what the galaxy has learned from you. See what humans can become in the eyes of others." Alex hesitated. His quiet life on the frontier station was safe and familiar. Yet, he felt a pull he could not resist. The opportunity to witness what his actions had begun, to see the galaxy itself change because of one human choice, was too important to ignore. He nodded slowly. I will come," he said. "For a while, show me." Lyra smiled faintly. "Then we begin. The galaxy is watching. Humans will be remembered, and it all started with a choice." And with that, Alex Carter, the human who gave his escape pod seat to save a child, stepped forward into a new chapter of his life, one that would take him beyond the frontier, across the stars, and into the stories that would define the galaxy's understanding of humanity. The universe had begun to notice humans, and it had noticed Alex Carter stepped aboard Lyra's ship, feeling both nervous and excited. The vessel was unlike anything he had seen. Smooth, glowing walls reflected soft blue light, and the floor seemed to hum under his feet. The ship moved silently, as if it was alive. Lyra led him through the corridors. She did not need to speak much. Alex could feel her calm confidence. She had grown strong over the years, and she had learned how to command respect without raising her voice. Alex could not help but notice how much she had changed from the small, frightened girl he had saved 8 years ago. "Where are we going?" Alex finally asked, trying to hide his nervousness. "To show you," Lyra said, "to show you what your choice has started. The galaxy is watching humans differently now. There are places humans have never been respected before. We will go there." Alex nodded slowly. He had spent years in human space, repairing ships and avoiding trouble. Now, he was about to see humans from the perspective of a species far more powerful than he could imagine. The ship moved faster than any human vessel Alex had ever seen. Stars stretched into lines, and the view outside the windows became a blur of light. Alex felt a strange excitement and fear. He had survived disasters before, but this journey was different. He was no longer just a human engineer. He was someone whose actions had changed how the galaxy saw his entire species. Lyra guided the ship toward a distant system. She explained that they were going to meet with leaders of other alien species, many of whom had considered humans weak or reckless. Now, they would see what humans were capable of, not just through weapons or technology, but through courage and choices. As they approached the first meeting point, Alex noticed other ships waiting. They were sleek, glowing, and unlike human designs. He felt nervous. What would they think of him? Of humans? Lyra noticed his hesitation and placed a hand gently on his shoulder. "Do not worry," she said softly. "You have already shown them what humans can do. Now you only need to be yourself." The first meeting was in a large space station orbiting a gas giant. Representatives from dozens of species waited, curious and cautious. They had heard of a human who had risked his life for an alien child, but none had met him before. They were not sure what to expect. Alex stepped forward. He felt small among the tall, strange creatures, some with multiple limbs, others with shimmering skin. Yet he remembered Lyra's words. Courage and honesty mattered more than size or strength. He spoke slowly, clearly. "I am Alex Carter," he said. "I saved a life when I had a chance to save only myself. I did not do it for reward, I did it because it was right. Humans can be reckless, yes, but we can also choose to protect others, even at great risk to ourselves. That is our strength." There was silence for a moment. Alex felt the weight of dozens of eyes on him. Then slowly, the representatives began to nod. Whispers spread among them. They had not expected humans to speak like this, to show courage without expectation of reward. Alex felt a small spark of pride. Lyra stepped forward next. She explained to the group about the Aurelians, their role in the Galactic Alliance, and how Alex's actions had influenced their view of humanity. She spoke of honor, courage, and compassion, showing that one human choice could matter across the galaxy. The aliens listened carefully. Many of them had only seen humans as a minor species, unpredictable and dangerous. Now, they realized humans could be honorable, capable of making choices that others might not understand. Humans could be strong in ways that weapons or technology could not measure. Alex noticed a few representatives leaning forward, curious and impressed. One alien, tall with green skin and 4 arms, asked questions about human culture, about the choices humans made, and why Alex had acted as he did. Alex answered honestly, explaining the human tendency to value life and compassion, even when it might cost them dearly. The meeting lasted hours. Alex and Lyra moved from group to group, answering questions, sharing stories, and showing that humans could be trusted, respected, and honored. By the end of the day, many species who had once doubted humans began to see them in a new light. After the meetings, Lyra guided Alex to a quiet observation deck. They looked out at the gas giant, its swirling colors reflecting in the windows. Alex felt exhausted but exhilarated. The galaxy had started to notice humans, and he had played a part in it. "You did well," Lyra said softly. "You showed them what humans are capable of. Courage, compassion, and choices, these are your gifts." Alex shook his head. "I didn't do it for that. I didn't expect any of this. I just saved you." Lyra smiled faintly. "And that was enough. Sometimes one choice can change the future. Humans will be respected now because of you. They will be remembered not for war or conquest, but for heart. That is rare in the galaxy." Alex felt a strange sense of pride. He had survived disasters, loss, and years of quiet life. Yet now he realized that a single moment, giving up his escape pod, had grown into something far greater than he could have imagined. The galaxy itself had noticed, and humans were being seen in a new way. The journey continued for weeks. Lyra took Alex to distant systems, introducing him to more species, more leaders. Everywhere they went, humans were viewed differently. They were no longer minor players in the galaxy. They were beings capable of courage, honor, and choices that mattered. Alex met humans in far-off colonies who had never been respected by other species. They were surprised when he spoke of his experience. They listened eagerly, inspired by the idea that one human could influence the galaxy. Alex realized that his actions had given hope to others. Humans could matter. Humans could be seen. Lyra also showed Alex the Aurelian archives. They contained records of human history, interactions with other species, and stories of courage. Alex saw that his act had been recorded carefully. His choice to save Lyra was more than personal, it had become a symbol. "Humans are unusual," Lyra said, watching him study the records. "You do not always act for glory, for power, or for reward. You act for what is right. That is why your species can grow in ways others cannot imagine. It begins with choices like yours." Alex nodded slowly. He felt humbled. He had never thought of himself as a hero. He had only done what felt right in a moment of danger. Yet now he saw that one choice, one act of courage, could ripple across the galaxy and change how others perceived humans. As they traveled, Alex also learned about alien technology, diplomacy, and the vast networks of the galaxy. He realized how much humans had yet to learn. Yet he also realized that humans had a unique strength, courage, and heart that could never be measured by ships, weapons, or numbers. After weeks of travel, they returned to human space. News of their journey spread quickly. Humans began to realize that other species had noticed them, respected them, and even feared them in some ways, not for war but for courage and honor. Humans had a reputation now, built from one simple act 8 years ago. Alex returned to his frontier station for a short time. Life felt familiar, yet he knew nothing would ever be the same. Humans were no longer just explorers, traders, or workers in the galaxy. They were beings capable of choices that could shape the stars themselves. Lyra stayed close, guiding him, teaching him, and reminding him of what his actions had begun. She did not demand anything. She only watched, supported, and ensured that the galaxy continued to notice humans. One evening, Alex stood on the observation deck of the station, looking at the stars. He felt a deep sense of pride. He had survived fires, destruction, and years of quiet life, yet now he understood the impact of his choice. The galaxy was watching humans differently. They would be remembered for courage, heart, and honor. Lyra approached him silently. "The journey is not over," she said. "Humans will face challenges, dangers, and choices that will test them, but now they have a chance, and you have shown them the way." Alex nodded. I understand. I just hope they can live up to it. They can, Lyra said firmly. Humans have always been stronger than others realize. Now the galaxy will see it. Alex smiled faintly, looking at the stars. He realized that his quiet life had ended. He had survived the fire, saved a life, and now he had helped shape the galaxy's view of humanity. One choice had grown into something far greater than he could imagine. And as he looked at Lyra, standing tall and confident, he knew that the galaxy itself was watching, learning, and beginning to respect the humans who could choose heart over survival. The stars were vast and full of dangers, but Alex Carter knew one thing: humanity had a place in the galaxy, and he had helped secure it. The journey had only begun. Alex Carter stood on the bridge of Lyra's ship, watching stars streak past at unimaginable speed. He had traveled farther than he ever imagined, met alien species he never thought existed, and seen how one human choice could ripple across the galaxy. Yet, the journey was not over. Lyra's mission had a final purpose: to repay the debt she owed him and to show humanity its true place among the stars. "Where are we going now?" Alex asked. He had grown used to the quiet confidence of the ship, the soft hum of its engines, and Lyra's calm presence beside him. "To the heart of the Galactic Council," Lyra said. "The species that once doubted humans will see them in full. It is time to show that your people are capable of courage, honor, and strength beyond what they imagined." Alex swallowed. He had met alien leaders before, but never the Council, the group that oversaw trade, diplomacy, and conflict across thousands of systems. It was intimidating and he felt small. Yet he also felt a quiet pride. 8 years ago he had made a choice, and now he would see its consequences. The council chamber was massive, floating above a shimmering planet. Representatives from hundreds of species sat in circular arrangements, their eyes glowing, their bodies strange and varied. Alex felt nervous, but Lyra guided him forward. Her calm presence steadied him. "Humans," Lyra said, her voice carrying through the chamber. "This is Alex Carter. 8 years ago, he gave his life to save one of my people. That choice showed courage, honor, and heart. Humans can be reckless, yes, but they can also act in ways no one else can. Today, the galaxy will see what that means." Alex took a deep breath. He stepped forward, looking at the council members. Some were skeptical, some curious, some cautious. He remembered Lyra's words. Courage and honesty mattered more than size, technology, or numbers. He spoke slowly and clearly. "I am Alex Carter," he said. "I saved a life when it could have cost me everything. I did it not for reward, not for glory, but because it was right. Humans can make mistakes, but we can also make choices that matter. That is what my people are capable of. That is who we are." There was silence in the chamber. Alex felt the weight of dozens of eyes upon him. He remembered the fire, the explosions, the small hand of Lyra in his. He remembered the moment he chose her life over his own. And he realized that moment was not just about survival. It was about showing what humanity could be. Then Lyra spoke again, explaining the culture of humans, their history, and the acts of courage she had recorded. She showed the council how one human act had changed perceptions, inspired respect, and opened possibilities for alliances and peace. She spoke of honor, compassion, and choices that could shape the galaxy itself. Slowly, the council members began to nod. Whispers spread. Humans were no longer minor players to be ignored or underestimated. They were beings capable of decisions that mattered, decisions that could change the course of interstellar relations. Alex felt a mixture of pride and humility. He had never thought of himself as important, yet here he was, proof of human potential. One elder of the council, a tall figure with shimmering silver skin, spoke. This human, he acted with courage. He showed a level of honor rare even among the oldest species. We have underestimated humans. That must change. Other members murmured in agreement. The council passed resolutions to protect human worlds, to include humans in trade and diplomacy, and to watch them with respect rather than suspicion. Alex realized that one choice, 8 years ago, had altered the future for billions of humans. After the council meeting, Lyra guided Alex back to the ship. She looked at him with calm satisfaction. "Your debt is repaid," she said softly. "You saved me. I have repaid you by showing the galaxy what humans can be. Your people will be respected, honored, and remembered." Alex shook his head. "I didn't do it for this. I only did what I had to do." "And that is why it mattered," Lyra replied. "Your choice was real. It was not for reward. The galaxy respects that. That is the greatest honor anyone can receive." They traveled to human space, visiting distant colonies. Wherever they went, humans looked at Alex with curiosity and respect. Some had heard the stories of a human who saved an alien child, and now they saw him, the man who had changed the galaxy's perception of humanity. Children asked questions, young engineers listened eagerly, and older humans nodded in quiet pride. Alex felt a strange warmth he had never experienced. His life, once quiet and hidden, had become a symbol of what humans could be. In one colony, a teacher told her students about Alex's choice. She explained that courage, compassion, and the willingness to protect others were the greatest strengths a human could have. Children listened with wide eyes. Some promised to act bravely to make choices that mattered. Alex realized that his story was no longer just his, it was becoming part of humanity itself. Lyra watched him as he spoke with humans. She smiled faintly. "Your people have much potential," she said. "They will face dangers and they will make mistakes, but they will also show courage. And now they will be remembered for it." Alex nodded. He had lived through disasters, quiet years, and now recognition. Yet he knew that the work was not over. Humans would face challenges. Pirates, alien conflicts, natural disasters. But he also knew that humans had a strength that no one could take away, the courage to choose what was right, even when it was dangerous. One evening, Alex and Lyra stood on the observation deck of a human colony ship. The stars stretched infinitely before them. Alex felt a deep sense of peace. He had survived fire, explosions, and years of uncertainty. He had saved a life, and that act had changed the galaxy. "Thank you," Alex said softly, "for coming back, for showing me what it meant." Lyra smiled. "No, Alex, thank you. You showed the galaxy what humans are capable of. I only returned what you earned. Your courage has become a symbol, a story that will last for generations." Alex felt a sense of humility. He had never acted for recognition. Yet now he understood the power of one choice, one moment of courage. He had given life to another, and in return, he had given humanity a new place in the galaxy. As they looked at the stars, Alex realized that humans would no longer be underestimated. They would be respected for their choices, their heart, and their courage. The galaxy would watch them, learn from them, and remember them. And it all began with one small decision in a burning ship 8 years ago. Lyra placed her hand on his shoulder. "Your story will live beyond this generation," she said. "Humans will speak of it, aliens will remember it, and the galaxy will carry it forward. All because one human chose to save another, even at great risk to himself." Alex nodded. He felt proud, yet humble. He had not acted for fame or glory. He had acted because it was right, and in doing so he had changed the course of history. They returned to the frontier station one last time. Humans welcomed them, curious and respectful. Alex spoke to engineers, children, and leaders, telling them about courage, choices, and compassion. Lyra watched silently, proud of the human she had saved and honored. "Humans will continue to face challenges," Lyra said softly. "But now they have a place in the galaxy. Your act has created a legacy, Alex. You will always be remembered." Alex looked out at the stars one final time. He thought of the escape pod, the fire, the frightened child he had saved. He thought of the 8 years of waiting, uncertainty, and hope. And he realized that one small act of courage could echo across the stars forever. And so, Alex Carter, the human who gave up his escape pod seat to save a life, became a symbol of humanity. A story was told across species, across colonies, across systems. Humans were remembered not for power or numbers, but for heart, courage, and the willingness to act when it mattered most. The galaxy was vast, full of danger and wonder, but it had learned one truth: never underestimate a human who chooses compassion over survival. Alex smiled, looking at Lyra beside him. "We did it," he said quietly. "No," Lyra replied, smiling softly. "You did it. You showed the galaxy what humans are capable of. I only returned what you earned." Alex nodded, feeling a deep peace. The stars stretched endlessly before him, and the galaxy would remember. The debt was repaid, the legend was born, and humanity had earned its place among the stars. The journey had ended, but the story would continue forever.